sir. Yes, sir, man. We live. We back. Man, it's good to be back, man. Happy to have y'all back. All right. Hope you had a nice summer. I did. The rest was much needed, but we fully recharged, ready to go. Get into it. Get into this football season, man. If you're new here, you don't know, man. I'm your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. This is the Golden Goose DFS experience where we specialize in single entry, 3 max, and 20 max content. But have no fear, man. No matter your style of play, no matter what type of player you are, maybe you're a 150 maxer, cash game player, double up player, it does not matter, man. You will find the content beneficial. So trust me. You want to be subscribed. Turn your notification bell on so you know when the videos and content drop. And also do me one small favor, man. Please hit that like button for your boy. It goes a long way to help the channel grow, man. Boost us in that algorithm, and it increases your chances of winning, man. Scientifically proven. Don't argue with science, all right? Man, let's get into it. Y'all know why y'all here. Y'all know I'm not going to hold you long. This is my third and goal series if you are new, where I bring you 3 plays across each particular style of contest. So I'll bring you one play from my single entry player pool, one play from my 3 max, and one play from my 20 max player pool. Now, if you want access to my complete player pool and my live stream every Sunday before the main slate, man, the Patreon link is down below, man. Go on and check that thing out, man, and officially subscribe and officially become a part of the gang, all right? But enough of all that, man. We got the politics out the way. Let's give you what you came for. You know I don't like to hold you long, man. Got 3 plays queued up for you. Let's get right into it, all right? Alrighty, man, kicking it right off with your thumbnail, Anthony Richardson, 6,300. Listen, I do expect him to garner some ownership. I do expect him to be chalky, but I'm perfectly fine with it. If you watch me, especially last year, you know we took him on every slate he was on, man. And he a couple of times he had us in position to be looking good for a takedown before injury. So who knows? But everybody saw those same flashes I did earlier in last season. So I definitely think he's going to garner some ownership, especially in one of the higher total games on the slate. We know this Colts offense wants to play fast. I do think he'll be a chalky option, but I'm definitely okay going with him because we got a few ideas on how to get different. Now, I do think pairing him with Michael Pittman is going to be the obvious way to go, and I think that's the way a lot of people going to go. It's going to be pretty chalky. It's a little early in the week. It's going to be hard to gauge ownership right now. We'll be able to tell a little closer to game time a little later in the week. But just right now, if I had the guess right now, I would say Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman Jr. are going to be one of your higher owned quarterback receiver combinations, which is perfectly fine. I think you can leave it that route if you want to. Anthony Richardson is a dual threat quarterback. I'm perfectly fine skinny stacking those type of guys, but I also think you can double stack him as well. Now, I think the highest on second piece for anybody that double stacks, I think you're gonna get a nice mixture of people skinny and of people double stacking them. But I think Adonai Mitchell is going to be the most popular second option to pair with him here, and if that is the case, I don't mind pivoting going to Alec Pierce because it's early in the season, man. Although Adonai Mitchell has been getting talked up during training camp as he could be the number 2 guy, we just don't know, man. Alex Pierce has a little more experience than he does in his offense. He played in it some last season. I like getting to the leverage plays. Hence, if Adonai Mitchell is high owned or higher owned than Alec Pierce, and if I'm double stacking, I just get the Pierce and play the ownership game. But if Adonai Mitchell is higher owned, but he's only like 7% and the Pierce is like 4, it doesn't matter. Just play Adonai Mitchell, man. Doesn't mind double stacking them. And I also think it's one of those unique situations that you can look to the offensive stack in here, man. This is what going a QB running back in the top receivers, what I like to call an offensive stack, just allows you to get access to both parts of the offense, the rushing attack and the passing attack. And in a game like this, they're projected for close to 4 touchdowns here. It's not crazy to think that Richardson, Taylor, and Pittman scores all 4 of those touchdowns. That's not beyond the realm of possibility. So I like getting Anthony Richardson here in my single entry, even though he is going to be chalky. I think he's a dynamic enough play that you just kind of get to him and try to get different somewhere else. All right. Now, your second QB, going to be my 3 max QB. It's a lot of unknowns here. But it's week 1. It's a lot of unknowns across the board, man. But I'm looking at this Chicago Bears offense and Caleb Williams. Like I said, man, it is a lot of unknowns. But what we do know is that Vegas has them projected at an implied team total of 25 points. So that's over 4 touchdowns, which is always good to see. And what we do know is Vegas knows more than me and you combined. So I'm gonna trust this one on them. And I kind of like this offense over. I got believing in them. I'm gonna ride heavy on them this season. I like Caleb Williams here. I like the matchup against the Tennessee Titans, especially when you take into account that the Tennessee Titans are traditionally pretty good against the run. So if they're projected for 4 touchdowns here, and the Titans continue to be pretty good against the run, who knows? It's a new season. Just because they've been good the past couple of seasons doesn't mean that continue to happen this season. But if it is, those points are going to come from the passing game. And Caleb Williams has a plethora of options here, man. I think he has 4 legitimate options you can go to. One's kind of a reach and Cole Kmet, but them 3 receivers, man, I think you can well within your right to get to either one of them in any type of combination you want to do it, man. You can go Allen Moore, you can go Moore Rome, Allen Rome. I think Cole Kmet is reserved for your larger field stuff. And if this stack gets a little bit chalky a little later in the week, if Caleb Williams and Allen Moore and Rome's coming in at high ownership, I think going like a Moore and Komet could give you leverage on the field here in this spot if Caleb Williams ends up being chalky. All right. And then your third and final stack, man, the QB I'm looking at in my 20 max. I'm going to come right back to that Colts game and look at the other side and Mr. CJ Stroud at 7,500. Now, I do think he would be on the lower end of the ownership side on this main slate due to the fact that he this Houston stack is going to be one of the highest price stacks on the slate. So I think people are going to kind of steer away from it and they know it's going to take a lot to pay it off. And plus, people would much rather get to the Colts side of this game. That being said, you can sign me up for CJ Stroud, man. We've seen the type of numbers he can put up when they're pushed and forced to play and forced to score. And I think the Colts can do that here in this matchup, man. I like the over here. You may see a 31-28 type game here in this spot. And if CJ Stroud is pushed, he's definitely live for 3 300 passing yards, 3 TDs. And it's some rushing upside there. He doesn't like to run. He's more like a Mahomes and kind of like Caleb Williams a little bit too. They scramble to open up passing lanes and to pass more so than run, but they will run and have some rushing, slight rushing upside there. But CJ Stroud, man, and a plethora of options for you to pair him with here, the receiver. We have Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, and I do believe Dalton Schultz is still in play as well. I have no problem however you want to do that. Like I said, it's the most expensive stack, but being that it's week 1, I think pricing is soft enough that we can build a comfortable lineup around these guys. Now, we don't know. I think Diggs is the wild card. I think he comes in as the lower owned of the receiving bunch. I think you get a lot of Collins and Dale or Collins and maybe even some Schultz. I think Diggs is going to be the lower owned of the receiver, which makes me kind of be drawn to him right now early in this week. But I don't mind going Collins and Diggs. Matter of fact, that may be the lower owned just because of the price of it. Going Collins and Diggs may not be a bad way to go. It's going to be rough to pay off. You definitely going to need that shootout 31-28, 35-31 type game, but this game is well capable of getting that, all right? There you have it, man. Your 3 quarterbacks this week, Anthony Richardson, Caleb Williams, and CJ Stroud. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure going to be in mine, all right? That's going to do it for us here today, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all next time, all right? Let's get it.